Hello, teacher Eddie and my friend. My name is Sudarat Phaijanthuk.
My name is จิดาภาเปะอยู่
My name is วชิรพรทับตา and วันธนาสกุลดิษฐ์
We are second year student in English major. Today, we will interview 3 questions about speaking skill in the listening and speaking skill course of teacher Eddie.
First question: What is the biggest problem to improve student speaking skill?
First of all, before we go to the skill to the problem, we have to think about the ways of teaching in Thailand. As we teach English for the foreign language, even speaking skill. In theory, the skill that we need to teach the student speaking, listening, reading and writing. Okay, listening and reading are receptive skill, writing and speaking are productive skill. So in order to make the student enable to speak English as we enter the 21st century and as we are part of the ASEAN. Okay, even English is not a native culture language. The problem is that in general, as I said, we study English as the foreign language, and English is not compulsory or directly compulsory like in Philippines, or it's sort of selective. And in general, in Thailand, throughout Thailand, even in basic education, some school they have the native speaker like the Philippines or speaking native teachers. More or less, some school they have the non-native like a Thai. So the problem is that we call the input. Input is mean that the students. So in terms of the course today, we talk about the problem for the high school. The high school, we have to say in general, it's depend on the location. If the students studied in the city school like Chalerm Kwan or Pislopiakom or big cities, and also the student from the upcountry like a different district like Wat Bot or Phompilam, there are differences in terms of inequality, because that's related to the problem, because not just the teaching aid like a multimedia. Some school the student don't have chance to study speaking with native speakers, so they feel inferior to those school who study in the big city. So in terms of the input, so the student from say Chalerm Kwan, as I teach EP, there are less problem for me, because those students they study English EP since primary school, and then they further to the lower secondary school, and then some study English with the native speaker, and all non-native with the equivalent like me or Dr. Tuisak or Dr. Disaya. So in terms of problem, even the EP, some students they lack self-confidence. The first the lack of self-confidence, and then the some students they are quite shy. They do not want to express themselves, but in the majority, the students as I teach at Chalerm Kwan, they they are capable enough of speaking English. But in general, for other school, as I said, since they don't have native speakers, so they might not focus on the ability of speaking English. And so, however, those schools may access the multimedia, like use the tape or use the some program like online program that enable the student to study. And also it's depend on the environment. If the students are among the smart student, they compete each other. But in general, some students are mixed ability, some low ability, medium ability, or moderate ability, and high ability. They are mixed. So that school, if they have the competent teachers, they won't cause very much problem. And as I said, some school they have they don't have enough equipment, enough teaching aids. They might have like say online program or the long distance from the King project from Prachuap Khiri Khan they can access, but that is not two-way communication. It's a one-way communication. They just watch the program. That's all. If the student do not understand, they cannot ask the question. Okay, so the problem one way is up to the students. Second, it's the lack of equipment. Three, the motivation of learning the language. And fourth, it could be the problem of the teachers. However, if the teacher themselves, they are not non-major, they can access the online or some multimedia to help them teach the student of speaking English.
Okay, next question. How do you solve this problem?
Okay, as I said, the problem for me, since I teach EP program at Chalerm Kwan, the average they can speak, but some, like I have been teaching for the language section, they are good, and now I have been teaching the science section. Some, as their brain, they are not good at language, but they are good math and science. However, they can manage how to do the assignment. So for solving the problem, for me, I assign the student to speak individually and also have a group work. So that means the student have the self-confidence. The one who have confidence can help the lack confidence. That's one way to solve the problem. Okay, and also, as I say, so the teacher has to prepare lots of material. Since they are brain student, we have to look for the program or the online program that fit the students' ability.
Okay, the last question. What activity do you use in the classroom to improve students' speaking skill?
In terms of activity, as I say, for myself, I have individual, activity for them. For instance, they have first they have to be a guide, and they have. I give them the instruction how to be a guide, and then give them outline, and they have to present, like some countries that they would like their friend to see, why they want to see that country, what are the main point, what is the tourist attractions, and second, I for individual activity, I assign them to talk about the activity or the event that they have done during the semester break, like a summer break, what they have done, what is more interesting, what's it's the most boring activity for them. So let them express. And for the group activity, I give them the assignment, do the utopia. So utopia in Thai means โลกภาษีอ่าน so to make it perfect where you want to be, I decide the city, okay. So in order to decide the city, I brainstorm what kind of facilities that facilitate the people to be happy, what kind of problems arise when the people are together, something like that. So they decide the city themselves, where they want to put school, where they want to put hospital, where they want to put the airport or seaport, whatever, that help the people in that city happy. Okay, that's in general that I give them the activity for the speaking class.
Okay, I hope the interview will be useful to everyone. Thank you.